one size fits all or a custom approach?
I'm saying a custom approach.
I don't agree with that because I believe that we use ourselves as the goal. We are trying to sell to ourselves instead of listening to the customer. We don't listen to the customer enough. A lot of people are selling, but they're not making money. They are posting thousands of bags of deliveries going out, but their business is struggling because their pricing is way off.
They get stuck and consumed by the hustle, but they're not consumed by strategy. That's the difference between a lot of big companies and small companies. Most people are just, I need money to start this. You need money to scale. Like, you need a customer to start. So if I'm zero, I'm going to spend. There are 3 types of currencies. This is your most default currency. If you don't have money and you don't have a network, you need to leverage on a currency or leverage on this capital.
Why most young businesses across Africa fail very quickly?
Number 1, I think.
Do you think entrepreneurship is for everyone?
I think everybody should have an interest in entrepreneurship.
So it's for everybody?
Yes.
I don't think everybody is wired to be an entrepreneur. I don't think everybody can be an entrepreneur.
So hello and welcome to Connected Minds podcast. My name is Derek Abaite. And thank you so much for supporting this podcast, bringing it to where we are at this moment. Today, I've got something special for you. Very special, so special that I'm nervous. And what I have packed in our studio today is that I've got 2 entrepreneurs. They will talk about their story, their business, what they do for people. And I'll let them go through their own perspective and what they think about each person's idea. I would want to give them real scenarios from each, and let's see how they can turn their businesses around. This is definitely a conversation for every aspiring entrepreneur. You haven't seen this in the screens in Ghana before. Like this, never. And we're bringing this to you because we value you as our audience. So if you're not watching the video, please head to YouTube so you can watch it. And if you make it to the end, I would love to know in my comments section. I've got Pakwasi here and I've got Blessing. How are you doing?
I'm excited. A little nervous, but excited. And I've watched a lot of your podcasts online, and it's so nice to see you do this in person. Yes, I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Pakwasi Forsen.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm fine. How about you?
I'm fantastic. I mean, you saw me doing a lot of running around.
Definitely,
Yeah.
I do this a lot, even on my construction sites. I'm with the people. It's just the way I expect things to be done.
Yeah.
I always want to put myself in it.
Yeah.
So when the video comes out, I want to identify myself
Definitely.
in the
Yes.
video.
Yeah, but it's a pleasure doing this.
Yeah.
Especially with Blessing. And
Yes.
I'm excited for what we have to do today.
Yes.
This is different to the space.
Yeah.
And so we make magic.
Yes.
Absolutely. And I think this was an idea dropped from heaven.
Yeah.
Because we have originally planned to just speak with Blessing today. Tell us everything she does, how she helps businesses scale. And then all of a sudden, it dropped in and it says, Pakwasi must be involved in this because he's an expert in this field.
Yeah.
He helps businesses scale as well. Has a lot of marketing strategies. So you guys do very similar things, even though you have your own businesses.
Yeah.
But I think this would be fantastic for the audience.
Yes.
Can't wait.
Fantastic. So let's start off with Blessing.
Yeah.
I've already asked you how you're doing. But
Yeah.
the first question I've got for you is, what do you do for the people?
What do I do for the people? Yes. So I come from a background of pharmacy. I didn't want to do pharmacy initially, but my parents pushed me to do something science related. But I knew that I wanted something more. I didn't want to get up, go and sit in the pharmacy every day and sell drugs, right? So I went into entrepreneurship, and that changed my life completely. So now I'm able to sustain my life completely on my business. And I realized that a lot of people want that as well for themselves, but they don't have it. Not because they can't do it, or not because I did something out of the ordinary. It's just because of their mindset, just because they don't believe that they can, and they're not willing to hold on enough to do it. Yes. So I started something called the business of your dreams, where I impact into the lives of people, into their businesses. I help them to launch and scale their businesses as well. So that's what I do for the people. I have mentoring sessions where I meet people every week. We dive deep into your business. I have resources for hair business owners as well, because I am an expert in the hair business as well. Yes, so so that's something that I really is my passion. I love to impact. I can speak about business all day. Yeah.
And privacy.
Yeah.
Forcing.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Okay, so I always say I do what I do for three main reasons. Number one, to shape thoughts, mold characters, and propel the destinies of individuals and businesses.
Yeah.
So that's what I mainly do. And so I do that through my work as a speaker and a coach and a consultant.
Yeah.
And so over the time, I've had the privilege of coaching and training multi-million-dollar companies from real estate companies. I can name a few names, but not now. Okay, And so I've been doing that ever since I was professionally since I was 22 years old. And so I've seen a lot of businesses. I've worked with a lot of people. I'm bringing new ideas because I'm young. And so I bring fresh, innovative ideas to the table. I help people to optimize their marketing processes, especially because that's where I'm an expert in. And so I come there and I build your staff. I train your marketing team. And I've worked with so many businesses, and there are some people that we actually do the marketing for them. And so, I go around speaking to people, helping them to understand business from a different point of view. And that's what I do. We make magic. Yeah.
Through our conversation, someone told me that you can build LinkedIn accounts faster than most businesses can for themselves. How do you do that?
Yeah. So I do that with a number of strategies and everything. But the whole thing is that on LinkedIn, I can take somebody and take you from 0 to 1,000 in 30 days. I've done it multiple times in multiple different accounts. We teach the strategies. And so the strategies are very much the system that we use. And once you just copy the system, you have the same outcome. Because there are some people who have a lot of followers on LinkedIn, but they can't explain the growth.
Yeah.
Like they just maybe made a post and it went viral a couple of times, and so that's how it happened. But they can't tell you, okay, I pressed 1, 2, 3, and I got here. And so what I did was that since when I joined LinkedIn, nobody knew who I was. I came from obscurity to limelight. And so LinkedIn was my medium to come into the limelight. And so what I did was that I developed a system that I can use. And so once I had that system, I just began to teach it to other people for free as a start. And when it started working for them, they started telling their friends, and their friends started telling their other friends, and the other friends started telling their other friends. And by the time I realized, it became a business. And that's how I started. And I started charging people and doing that.
Take me through the system, step by step.
Definitely. No problem at all. So there are a number of things that you need to do. So I call it VAVA. VAVVA. So VAVA starts number 1, vision. It may sound, but you need to start with vision.
Yeah.
Number 2, authenticity. Number 3, value. Number 4, visibility. And number 5, authority. If you follow those 5 steps, you actually have LinkedIn visibility. Now, what do I mean? Most people come on LinkedIn and don't even know whatever they're looking for. So their vision is wrong because they come there looking for a job. Meanwhile, if you want opportunities, LinkedIn is a social media platform. You can't just come and all you're thinking about is a job. So because their primary thought is that they approach everything so wrongly, you should have a real goal, a real outcome, a real connection. What exactly are you trying to get out of this platform? It should be properly defined. If you don't have that, most people have their vision wrong, and so every other thing now goes away. Now, authenticity. Authenticity is, I always say, is the bedrock of personal branding. And so what you want to do is that you want to be able to find a way to not be like everybody else. You need to radiate your authenticity in terms of you have your value, you have your things, your core elements, but how can I do it in my way that is not necessarily a standard procedure for everybody within my space? So you need to be able to define your authenticity. Now, let me go to this part. This is where I want to go deeper into everything. So now the value. Now, your value comes from the Latin word or from an old French word known as valoir. Valoir means worthy. So when we're talking about values, like what are you bringing to the table that is worthy for someone else? And so most people come on LinkedIn and they're just I got a job. I just started this new company. I just did that. So they're just using LinkedIn as a platform for updates. But you should use it as an update, as a platform for value. In other words, you should use it as a platform to be able to give something worthy to people. And so what most people do is that they come on LinkedIn and they don't share content at all that is valuable. What I do is that when I first started LinkedIn, I was posting twice a day, sharing value about random things, leadership and marketing, twice every single day. By the time I was done with my university, I had over 5 jobs reaching out to me. I don't have a CV. And so it was just because I was using it as a platform whereby I was sharing my worth. And so when you start doing that, especially in a very consistent manner with high volume, I'm telling you, like, you are going to grow.
Yeah.
Because now the thing about LinkedIn platform is this. So let me just explain it this way. So on LinkedIn, you cannot run ads on your personal account. Now on Instagram, you can press boost post. I know our viewers have probably used that before, boost post. But on LinkedIn, you can't do that for yourself. Now they are trying to include that into the platform, but like you can't do that. You can't boost a post personally. So the only way you can run ads on LinkedIn is using a company account. Now, what that means is that the company accounts, they've killed the reach for it, basically. I won't say they've killed it, but the reach for a company account is not so much. So that as a company, you're forced to buy ads. That's the strategy. But when it's a personal account, the organic reach for a personal account is so high.
Right.
Because you can't run ads. So they've optimized the organic reach for you to be able to get a lot of views. And most people don't understand that. So they're just on LinkedIn and they don't even know what to do. So once you start actually actively using the platform, because less than 1% of the LinkedIn population actually post on LinkedIn. And LinkedIn has over 1 billion members. So you should think that's just a number of people. Now, not to even talk of Ghana, not to even talk of Accra. How many people are posting consistently? So the moment you start posting value, I am telling you, the platform is designed to give you a lot of visibility.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Blessing here.
Yes, definitely.
Your business, and the reason I wanted you to take us through the LinkedIn strategies, because I know Blessing is not active on LinkedIn.
Okay.
So that was essentially for her, the value for her business and her personal brand. Now, Blessing, take me through how you got your capital to start your business.
It's very funny. So, yes, it was 7 years ago, right? I've always been entrepreneurial, so I always find a way to sell something. When I was 8, I remember there's this pack of Jello toffee in class. I'll buy the pack and sell it 1-1 to my classmates. JSS2, I was selling bags and belts that my father was bringing to the teachers, to fellow students. So I've always been thinking of something to do. So initially, I was making wigs. That was in my final year in university. So you don't need much capital. You just need skill. You just need to offer your services to people. So I had traction because I know how to market. I know how to talk about my services to people. So I got some traction. And then when I was doing my national service, a friend suggested I buy hair from Nigeria and sell. So that was how I started. It wasn't with a lot of money. I just bought 2 sets of hair. That's 3 bundles each, 2 sets of hair. And then a friend of mine gave me 1,000 Ghana cedis to start. So that was 2 sets of hair I bought. And that's how I started my business, Glam and Inches. So it wasn't a lot of money. And I know a lot of people always ask, how much do I need to start a business? And I find that question very amusing.
Why do you think people don't need money to start a business?
Well, the thing is, we put so much emphasis on the product, when we are trying to start a business. The product is really important, of course. Yes, but having the product without having the marketing skills, the sales skills, the product doesn't move. It sits there, right? So you can even sell things that don't belong to you. So in that case, you don't even need money to sell it.
Okay, yes. How am I going to do that then?
Okay, so that's really interesting because I know you mentioned something like that in Connected Minds Live, right? And it's something that I think is making waves now, right? We put too much emphasis on the product, but you don't necessarily need the product to make money. Right now, something like this is making waves, right? A lot of people have product, but they don't know how to market it. A lot of people have a lot of goods sitting down, but they don't know how to use social media. They don't know how to use email lists, right? So once you build the skill, the sales skills, the marketing skill, you can now sell that. So you go to somebody who has the product. You ask the person, what is the least amount you are willing to sell this for, right? And then you're like, okay, so I'll bring you customers. I don't want any of your capital. I don't want any of your cost price. I just want a commission on every client I bring you. So people have used this method to generate thousands of dollars. And that is your seed money for whatever else you need to do. Another way to run a business without using capital or money is partnerships. Honestly, we don't put enough emphasis on partnerships. Whenever I meet somebody, I always find ideas. I always get ideas from conversations. Just yesterday, I was just chatting with somebody who sold cars, and I had so many ideas because I realized that he had a flaw in his hiring system. He has a lot of employees, but none of them is educated. So he struggles with sharing his vision making them understand what he wants. And I'm like, I know how to hire. Why don't I just tell him I can hire for you, I can create SOPs for you, onboard your staff, and then you just pay me. That is how to make money without money, right? Another way is we just spoke. And then from just speaking to him, I know he's doing so many things. He can build LinkedIn platforms for people. He can do so much. So I just had an idea. Okay, so how do we work together to make money? How do we make money from our partnerships? Yes. So there are so many ways to make money. I think we need to move away from being stuck on how much do I need to start a business? That question is getting old. How much do I need to start a business? Yeah, we need to move away from that.
So in terms of, and I love it,
Yeah.
right? And by the way, I just want to chip in there.
Yeah.
That looking for a product
Yeah.
and adding your markup to it
Yeah.
and then selling it in your own way is different from somebody asking you that they want a service from you or they want a product from you.
Yeah. True.
And then you telling that person that the highest quality of this product that they can get is 2,000 cedis or $2,000. And then you take that money and then you go and buy them a substandard product.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you keep the difference. That's not what we are saying.
Yes.
What we are saying is that you identify a product, right, in the market, then you bring that online or you can do it face to face. And then you sell it, but the person must be aware of the markup you want to put on top.
Yeah, true.
Right, and then you make your money from that.
Yeah.
Don't tell somebody that you're going to go and buy them a cup. The highest quality is going to cost 2,000. And then you go and then you get the lowest quality of 500 and then you keep 1,500. You are not being smart.
I mean, that is not even scalable. Because how do you build a business from that? From being dishonest from the beginning. Nobody's going to trust you.
No integrity.
No integrity. It doesn't make sense.
I think Blessing has just spoken about two ways where you can start a business. Partnership and then, offer your services to existing businesses, whether it's product or services. Now, I do understand that you speak very much about soft skills. What sort of skills do you think people need to be able to then go sell their product?
Oh, definitely. Number one thing, communication skills. But when I'm talking about communication, I'm talking about communication to sell. I call it speak to sell. That's what I call it. Now, most people do not know how to sell. Most people think selling is convincing, but selling is persuasion. Convincing and persuasion are two different things. Convincing is when I get you to do something for my own reasons, but persuasion is when I get you to do something for your own reasons. So for the customer's reasons, not my reasons. Most people start a business and then they already define their reasons why people should buy the thing. But what you should find out is, why would my customer want this thing? What are their desires, their goals? And so the moment you learn about communication, because communication is this. Communication comes from the Latin word as communicationem. And communicationem simply means making common. What that means is that you're supposed to find a way to find a common ground with the person. Now, when we're talking about a common ground, I'm talking about two-party streets. Communication is a two-way street. You can't just, if I'm talking to you and you're not responding to me, that's not communication. I'm just the one talking, but we're not communicating. Communication always has a listener and the person speaking. And so when I'm talking about soft skills, what you need to do is that you need to have communication as the main soft skill that you're using to sell.
All right, so you've just spoken about communication skills. Right. What do you think about that, Blessing?
So I love that he said that. I really love it because I have a perfect example for him. So a platform, they were developing a platform. So their sales rep reached out to me and then she wanted me to use the platform to book clients for services, for salon services. So I immediately told her that we don't offer services. We do a lot of retail. She went ahead to still talk about how the platform can help me to get clients for services. And then I said it again. We don't do services. We offer retail. Then she was like, okay, thank you. Then afterwards, the next day, she went ahead to send me her portfolio again for the same service I had said I don't want. So a lot of the time, we train our sales reps to just go out there and talk about the product. So they don't even know if the product is right for the customer. Because she could have told me that, okay, they are going to maybe adjust this a bit or something. But she was just talking about what she had been trained to talk about. So that's what happens a lot when we get sales calls, yes.
Great. What other skill do you think people need to be able to sell products without owning the products?
Definitely. Emotional intelligence is one of them because it's a soft skill. And I think it all boils down to the communication thing. But let me use this in this way. Instead of emotional intelligence, I love to say adaptability is a soft skill. Most people don't know how to be adaptive to situations. So, I mean, because you're in a marketplace with different types of customers, with different types of wants, traits, needs, and everything. And so, how then can you be able to adapt your services to somebody else? So, for example, somebody has a particular need that they want. Can you be able to find a way to tailor that product for them? That's what we call adaptability. Because it's about some people don't just want a regular service, they want you to be able to find a way to tailor what you have for them in a particular way. So that is one of the things that most people don't have. They don't have the idea or the grit to be able to be adaptable. Whatever they are selling, they are so stuck on it, so strict, they are so cemented in their opinions about their services, about their products. But are you willing to make a bend? Are you willing to modify your product offerings just for the person you're working with? The moment you have adaptability coupled with communication, I think you'll make a killing in business.
Most people say that that's not absolutely true.
Okay.
In the sense that they think they work hard enough and they've tried everything. It still doesn't work out.
Okay.
What do you have to say, Blessing?
Yeah, so a lot of people think hard work just means you're going to succeed. But the thing is, we start businesses and we use ourselves as the goal. So we are trying to sell to ourselves instead of listening to the customer. We don't listen to the customer enough. So you bring something, clearly there's no market need for it. But you believe that in marketing it and putting it in front of people's faces, in waking up early every morning to shout about your product, you are magically going to change the customer's needs and make the customer want your product. It doesn't work. Yeah, so hard work doesn't mean anything if you're not willing to apply a bit of what he said. Communication, not just convincing, persuading, right? And also in adaptability. Yes, being willing to understand that, okay, this is not working. How do I change it? How do I shift it a bit for it to work, right? And also sometimes as the founder of the business, I don't believe you need to work hard. Your job is not to be working hard physically. Because when you work hard, you don't make room for your mind to think and come up with ideas. Because that's your job as the founder. You're supposed to work on the business and find ways to grow the business. You're supposed to meet people who can give you inspiration, ideas to grow the business. But most of the time, we find entrepreneurs waking up early, taking all the videos. They want to be the face. They want to do everything in the business by themselves. Yeah. Yes, and that is not equal. That doesn't necessarily mean your business is going to work.
Definitely.
Yeah, Pa, what's your view on that?
Yeah, I completely agree. And so I'll say when tall fails, strategy always works. Let me say that again. When tall fails, strategy always works. So most people have been working hard. They work hard, but they are not being strategic. When you are strategic, that is where you are able to win. Most people don't take the time out of their busy schedules, or they are so stuck with working hard, and so they get stuck and consumed by the hustle, but they're not consumed by strategy. That's the difference between a lot of big companies and small companies, or big brands and small brands. And so one of my godfathers told me this: when the tough gets going, the tough seek collaboration. The quote is, when the tough gets going,
and the going gets tough.
When the going gets tough, the tough gets going.
Yeah.
But that's not true. When the going gets tough, the tough seek collaboration. And so what you need to do is that you need to be strategic, and that's seeking collaboration is being strategic. Because most people when they are working so hard, like, oh my God, I've been working so hard, I've been applying to a lot of jobs. Have you decided to be strategic? Because I do a lot of, because of the LinkedIn thing, I help people also get jobs remote in Ghana, here in Ghana, outside of Ghana, and all of that. And so you see some posts, I've been applying to jobs every day. Have you decided to be strategic for once? On LinkedIn, one of the things that you can do, this is outside the realm of business, but I just want to say this, is that there's a feature called, because everybody puts their school on there. So if, let's say I'm in Ashese or I'm in Cape Coast University, it's over there, you put on your page. And so when I open the school's page, I can literally just go to the page and look at the alumni. Now I go to the list of the alumni, I just go there and just look at them. So I look at somebody and see that, oh, this person is working over here. Just text a person and say, oh, hello, I'm an alumni from this. And that what happens is that because you both share a bond, it's called affinity bias in psychology. Because people share a bond, what happens is that you're going to leverage on that affinity, that common ground, and use that. Because when you go to, when you're outside of Ghana and probably in the UK, and you see your fellow Ghanaian, you see the way you react just because of that common ground, it's the same thing. And that's called strategic thinking. So I'm not just going to apply to a job, I'm just going to look for an alumni, ask him for a job opening. If there's one in his company, then apply to that company. And he becomes my voice in that company and say, oh, I kind of know this person. Especially if you kind of target somebody in the HR recruiter space, oh, you're cool to go. And to most people, whether it's in business and career, whatever they're doing, they're just doing the work without being strategic. And the people that always win are the people that always prioritize strategy.
That's a smart thinking. You have helped several businesses grow on the internet. Give me an example of some businesses that you took from zero to wherever you took them.
Definitely. So there was this one coaching company that we were helping, and so they weren't doing anything at all. In terms of they weren't selling any products, not selling anything. I mean, the company was there, they had their products and services on the website, but they hadn't made any sales. And so what we had to do was that we had to now realign their offers. So we restacked them, we looked at everything, and then we restructured everything. And then we found a way to position that offer in front of the client. So what we simply do is this. And that's a type of an information business. And so what we do is that we simply give people kind of a free trial first, because there's something from Russell dancing. Okay, so he has something he calls the secret formula. So who, where, bait, results. So when you're trying to sell something, can you find a way to bait them to get them attracted to whatever? So first thing that we did was that we simply just put up a free something to taste. So for example, if since it was the coaching business, we did a free webinar. The free webinar, we then kind of positioned the webinar in a particular way whereby we're able to give them a lot of value, but at the same time, we sold some offers at the back. So once we did that, the person went from literally zero to now having a lot of money coming into the coaching business for them to now start doing workshops and stuff like that and doing more things that they wanted to do. And so it's just about that, just about moving from something, giving something out for free. Most people are not willing to do that in Ghana. They're not able to put out lead magnets. I can go into lead magnets, it's a whole different conversation, but you can do that for your business and it's going to really change everything about everything. We've also helped a shipping company just move. We've also helped people also we have this company that they help people build builders, like you have these supply cranes and all of that. And so what we did was that we simply took whatever they had, combined it with, there's a way to get free traffic somewhere on LinkedIn. And so started running free ads for them, and boom, the business just exploded. And so it started getting some people coming in. Definitely.
50,000 young businesses across Africa.
Yeah.
What value do you think you can give to businesses should they come to you?
Okay. Marketing. Number one. So marketing. Most people don't understand marketing to its core. And so that's why I help people help people to understand how they can market better, not just organically, but paid. Because when you're trying to scale to a certain level, you can't just rely on organic marketing.
I learned this second year in business, that every business must have a marketing budget.
Definitely.
Even as a musician, you need to have a marketing budget. If you're trying to reach people, you need a marketing budget.
Yeah.
I think this is why a lot of people are surprised as to how fast Connected Minds podcast has been able to get this success. It's because we have a marketing budget. As I speak to you now, because we treat it as a business, we have a marketing budget, and we have to keep that ad running. My personal brand has got a marketing budget. Right. You help businesses scale, start and scale, especially people from the diaspora. Give me examples of businesses that you have helped start.
Okay. So I do help businesses in Ghana as well. One of my offers is to help people in the diaspora to start and scale businesses in Ghana. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because I live partly in the diaspora. Yes. But yeah, so an example is actually the person I got the suit from today.
Okay.
Yes. So hers is an aspect of scaling. Yes. When she came to me, she has been running her business for 5 years, but she didn't even understand where she wanted the business to go. She was just running it her own way. So first of all, I made her identify what made her different, which is what I like to hit on. What makes you different from someone else selling suits? Are you going to be called, oh, that lady who sells suits? Or you're going to be called this brand? Yes. So this brand protects you from a whole lot. You being known as a brand or you being known for something, it protects you from a whole lot. An example is 2 years ago, I had issues with my hair. But because we had a brand built up, it cushioned us from the damage. We're able to come back up. Yes. So I made her identify that. And then also I looked at her pricing. She wasn't making profit. So I made her increase her prices across board. And then I made her set her short-term goals, her long-term goals. Very important. Because if you don't know what you are working towards, you are just working. So short-term goals, really important. She set that, her long-term goals. So I've been working with her for close to 3 months now. And her short-term goal was to have a certain revenue every month. And last month, she far exceeded that revenue. So when I had my monthly check-in with her, I was like, wow. So the next step was hiring. Now I told her she needs to refine her hires. A lot of the time, it bothers me a lot. We don't hire smart people. The people you hire are supposed to be smarter than you. That is how your business grows beyond you. Yes. So that's what I had to refine for her. I told her to go back to the drawing board, hire somebody who can do your job as well as you do. So that you can, when you are not around, you know that things are going to get done. Set up SOPs in your business, set up systems, structure, know what you have in your shop. So that is how I'm helping her to scale. And honestly, I was blown away from our last meeting. She has just exceeded her revenue targets. And I know if in the next year, she's going to do great. Yeah.
You know, I thought about something, right? I was thinking about why most young businesses across Africa fail very quickly. Right. What do you think the reason is?
Okay. Yeah. So for me, number one, I think they don't completely think through. So, I mean, if it's a small business, number one, the thing is that they never optimize their business for cash. Let me say it that way. So most people are they don't think too much about cash in hand. They are just trying to make a few sales. But the whole idea of running a business is that you need to be profitable. If you are just running, most people go register their businesses or register whatever their entities and think it's a business. If your business is not making money, it's just a registered company and it's not a business. It's just an entity, just a registered entity with the government. It's not a business. You need to figure out a way to get customers. Like that should be your daily headache. And I do think a lot of small businesses here in Ghana prioritize that. They are just there.
Do you really think that the young Ghanaian entrepreneurs economy in Ghana, they really understand the power of internet marketing?
No, they don't. Not at all. Not at all. I think most of them are very shallow in terms of the knowledge when it comes to internet marketing. They don't go deep into everything because the moment you understand, because the internet is a revolutionary technology, I don't think people can grasp how important the internet is. Like you can literally have 2 million or 20 million people at your disposal. That's the reach and the massive thing that you have right in your hands. The world is in your hands.
Let me stop you here for a minute. We are on a journey of changing the minds and the lives of people. So if you haven't subscribed and become part of the family, please hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification. Thank you. Now let's carry on with the conversation. When I made my first million, I remember sitting back and then telling Ed that this would never have been possible without the internet.
Yeah.
100%.
And all I had to do was take a course on Udemy. And then I brushed over it with YouTube videos and then created my first ad. That was it. Wow. I think I said it in the event where I was saying that, look, I needed only a few orders. We came back to work and we had over 200 orders. And that's how the exponential growth started, purely by utilizing internet marketing.
Most people try to figure it out by themselves. But the thing is that there are people who have already done it. Just go learn from them. And so now knowledge has been democratized, right? It's on YouTube, it's on Udemy. But most people are also looking for free things. But the moment you decide to take a step further, go pay for something, I don't know, go find something on Udemy, Coursera, go get something. Because that's how I did it. That's how I started learning about
I want to give you a real scenario.
Okay.
Blessing here, one of her major businesses that makes her a lot of money is hair.
Okay.
She sells hair.
Definitely.
Now, I want you to maximize her business growth with your strategies.
Definitely.
Let's go.
Okay. So, first of all, can I ask you a question? That's fine. What's the average price point of the hair?
I would say about 5,000 cedis.
Okay.
Would be average,
5,000 cedis, okay. What would you like to make in a month?
I would like to make at least a 400,000 Ghana
400,000
cedis,
Ghana
yeah.
cedis. Okay, so let's do the math real quick. That should be close to. That should be about
Right? So you want to make what for 400,000?
400,000 Ghana
400,000
cedis.
Ghana cedis. So that
A month?
Yes,
That should be
a
about
month.
A month?
90
Yes.
something.
Right.
That should be probably about
90, about,
what?
Yep.
yeah, about 90 orders.
Yep.
90 orders.
At least, yes.
Yep.
Yes, at least 90
So you can do the
orders.
calculation.
Yes.
No, but I think that's 80 if you want to
Yes.
400,000. That's about
Averagely,
80,
yes. About 80 orders.
80 orders a month. Okay. So now that we've done the math, because that's what most people don't do. They have like very vague goals. So the first thing that you need to do when you're running any form of enterprise is that you need to first of all get clear on your goals.
Yeah.
Clarity, power.
Yeah.
Like you get power from clarity. And so now we know what we are working with. We were trying to do 400,000 Ghana cedis in 1 month.
Yeah.
And that's only 80 orders. Okay. Now what we need to do is that now that we have our math straight, what we need to do is that we need to figure out how are we going to get these 80 people? That's our next challenge, because the money is going to come from those people. And so 80 people, imagine, okay, so let's imagine you started from scratch.
Yeah.
Okay, is it from scratch?
Yeah.
From
Okay.
scratch. So
Yeah.
let's say you started from scratch. Okay. You have probably no followers, just created your account, but you
Yeah.
have the products waiting for you, the inventory, everything, that's fine. And so number one thing is that you need to first of all get your branding straight, because there are majorly 3 different challenges that people have when running businesses. Number 1, they have a branding challenge. Number 2, they have a traffic challenge. Or number 3, they have something called a conversion challenge. I call it the BTC infliction. So branding, traffic, conversion. And so first of all, you need to get your page set straight. I mean, like if you're running a physical store, you need to make sure that everything looks good. Same thing with your digital page. You need to make sure that it looks good. So now that you have that, you need traffic. Now you need to determine, because of how much you want to scale. I don't think organic traffic might be the way for you, because it's going to take some time. So what you need to figure out is that, number 1, you want to find a way to position your offers, have the prices down, explain the quality behind it, and then start running ads. That's the first thing I'm going to do. But what you want to do is that, first of all, you want to test out different. You want to do like a different test of maybe different hairs, maybe the brown one, the black one, and everything, and put it out there. Now, when you see how the market is responding to a couple of those 3 of them, you pick the one that is kind of getting a lot of traction, and then you start doing everything. But most people, what they do is that they start with a giveaway, as in like, I'm not trying to say give a hair away, but you might want to start with kind of front loading your initial orders with giving people either free hairs for, if I'm going to start this, I'm going to give it to maybe like Gwenado or something like that.
Yeah.
Give them free hair, just get them to say something, because one of the best ways to be able to get somebody to be able to buy is when they're social proof.
Yeah.
And so you want to get that.
Yeah.
That's how I'm going to start. I'm going to actually get that, run ads on the person talking about it, and then you're going to start get some orders about it. So that's how I'm going to start if I was running your business. And then we see how much we are able to do. But if you look at 80, that means that you need to put a lot of budget into it, because you're trying to get 80 buyers of a 5,000 cedis product. And so that's going to take some time. So that's what I can say for now.
Fantastic.
Is that cool?
Now, in your business,
Yeah.
that helps people start businesses and then scale businesses.
Yes.
A man here is into marketing.
Yeah.
His business is to find businesses that need help.
Definitely.
How are you going to apply your strategies to his business?
Okay. So it's funny because we were actually discussing this earlier, how he was going to scale beyond him.
Yeah.
Yes. And I would leverage AI. Yes. Because AI models now are incredible. They are incredible. And they are it's fast rising. And AI learns with data. You have a lot of data. You have a lot of, even though it's unstructured, you have a lot of data from your past courses. So an AI model can actually learn and be like you, right? So scaling beyond you, having a platform where you have all your resources put together, right? And then having a bot that can kind of act like you, and then make people feel like they have kind of a connection to you in that aspect. Yes. So then that bot can now upsell. So based on the conversation the bot has. So people can even pay a subscription just to talk to Parkwesi. They can pay a subscription, and they don't know they are talking to an AI bot. Yes, so they are talking to you, paying you every month just to talk to your bot, which you have trained. And then in that case, the bot can now recommend things to them. Oh, we have this resource for you. We have this. Are you looking for a job? We have this for you. So in that case, the bot just upsells. And then that is how you scale. That is how you become bigger than who you are now without actively doing the work all the time. Yeah.
I think that's smart. Whilst you were saying it, I was thinking of creating Bot Derek. And then Bot Derek is going to give people business strategies.
It's also personalized because the bot is on WhatsApp. So it feels like you're actually chatting with a human being. And the bot has a name. So it can actually say, it can even check in with your customers. So then you can set it to go back and check in with your customers. So hold them accountable. Yeah. So, I mean, it will feel like they're having a feel of you without being you. Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
So
thank you so much.
I want to throw this to the two of you.
Yeah.
Okay. You have I'm going to give you two businesses.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm giving you two businesses right now.
Yeah.
One at $0 USD and the other at 100K revenue. How would you approach these two differences? Two businesses.
Yeah.
Okay.
One is $0, the other is 100K revenue.
Definitely. Okay.
So I'm guessing one wants to start, one wants to scale.
No, the other is struggling. They have zero revenue.
Oh, you
They're not
mean
making anything.
okay.
And then the other is already at 100K revenue.
Yes. So the 100K, what's the challenge? They
want to scale.
They want to scale.
They want to scale.
Okay.
And then the other one wants money. They just want some customers in the door.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
So for me, when you're not making money, that's like a very big issue. So I always say that you don't need money to start a business. You need a customer to start a business, not money. That's what most people don't do. So most people are just, I need money to start a business. You need money to scale, but you need a customer to start. And so if you're running whatever type of business you're selling, building materials. There's a time ago, one of my friends, he was running a cement business at a Yarifa. I mean, we had no money to do anything. We have the product, spend everything to buy and ship our product. Now, what do we need to do? You need to go into the place and then start looking for kind of a lot of customers say, oh, you're building. And so we can give you cement to be building your thing. And so once they agree, they pay us, we take it and you go. And so you need to get the customers' money fast and you need to start moving. So if I'm on $0, I'm going to spend...
Go.
Okay,
Yep.
definitely. So quick one. So in life, there are three types of currencies. Three types of currencies. Or in other words, I can say capital. Okay, so most people, they think they want capital. Okay, so all capital. Number one is everybody's most initial thought, money. Okay. Number two, this is actually number one, is time. And number three is people. And so this is your default time because nobody was born with money. I don't think there was anybody who was born with like a bunch of $50,000 just in the hands of the baby. So the only thing you're now born with is time. So this is your most default currency. If you don't have money and you don't have a network, this is where you fall because this is your default currency. So these things are not defaults. These things you accumulate over time. But this is your default thing. So when you don't have anything, no revenue, you need to leverage on a currency or leverage on this capital. And so this is what you call sweat equity in business. And so you need to be able to find a way to be able to have sweat equity. What that means is that you need to go out there, do cold calling or warm calling, call everybody that you know, kind of go onto the ground and go get some cash. You need to, first of all, get cash for your business. Once you get the cash, that's when you can now be able to now put it into things that will allow you to scale. But most people don't even know what to put it into. And that's where the challenge now lies. So once you get the cash, that first of all, your first thing should be about cash. For example, in my business, when I first quit my job, I resigned my job and all I had in my bank account was 49 Ghana cedis. No kidding. I resigned and I said I was going to do whatever I was going to do with faith. I had employees still waiting for me to pay them and everything. And so what I needed to do was that the first thing that I did was that I made a list. I made on like the week after because I was burnt out. I was thinking about what to do. I was struggling. I had to find a quick therapist online and I spoke to the person and the person said, oh, relax and all of that. But what I did next was that I made a list of people who I wanted to work with. And then I started calling them asked them, when can I come to your office? And I went to all of them and I got 2 clients by like after 2 weeks after I was done. And that's how I started running. That's how I used to pay everybody that was working with me. It's because I knew that my first go-to currency is time, sweat equity. So that's what I would do if I had 0.
Over to you, Blessing.
Okay. Yeah. So 100% agree with time. Yes. So you don't need money to make money, which we've spoken about. Okay. So I'm going to take the person at 100K who wants to scale, right? So now you have grown your business to 100,000 cedis or dollars, and now you want to make more of that. First of all, you need to understand your business well, the systems in your business. You need to leverage on systems. How did you make that 100K in the first place? Was it by your own sweat? How did you do that? Did you document the whole process? Did you market in a certain way in order to make the 100,000? Write it all down. Now, hire people who can execute that and then make you 100,000 more. So if you are able to document that, and imagine you are able to hire 4 people to follow that pattern, that's 400,000 coming into your coming into your business, right? And also, like I've said already, discovering your unique value proposition, looking at your competition. What are they not doing? What can you do better? What are they doing but failing at? And what is missing in the market? Can you supply that? If you can supply that, you have your unique selling proposition. If you can look at your strengths, okay, these are my strengths. How do I make them better to serve the customer? That is your unique selling proposition. And also looking at the customer's needs, very important. You've already made 100,000. It means you have customers. You have data. Go back to your customers. Understand what went wrong or what went right when you were trying to serve them. Understand them better. Leverage on that data and then use that data to now understand your customers' needs to attract the right audience that are going to pay you a lot more in order to grow your business. Yes. So scaling is about understanding the customer, understanding your unique selling proposition, and hiring right. Yes. And also leveraging systems, SOPs, documentation, inventory system, AI, leverage technology. Technology will make your work so much easier. Yes. So that is how you scale.
And SOP is?
Yes, so standard operating procedures.
Right.
So SOPs are just the documents that guide any aspect of your business. So right now, when we came here, you had to set up the microphones and then the cameras and stuff. So if you had a standard operating procedure pasted there, where when you come in, the first thing you need to do is you can even be very, very, very cryptic, like very descriptive. Take 10 steps and then turn on this first camera. Check. You turn on this, make sure the cameras are all working. Now, make sure the host or the guest sits here. Check. So when you're able to document everything you do, that's when you, Derek, you can decide to take a vacation. And then your assistant, who speaks well, can host Connected Minds.
Yeah.
With SOPs, yeah.
So just want to add something to the scaling part. So one of the ways to be able to learn about how to scale is by looking at other businesses and looking at how they're able to scale their businesses as well. So one of the easiest ways to scale a business is to upsell. But I'm not just saying upsell, but I'm trying to say create a higher version of your product, like a premium offering. Now, how does this work? So, for example, when you look at Mercedes use this, okay, so they realized that all of their best clients were going to Rolls-Royce. But even though Mercedes sells cars, it's good, the cars are quality, it's classy, but all of their best clients who wanted more in terms of status were going to Rolls-Royce because they wanted to feel bigger, they wanted to feel better, richer, and everything. And so they realized that, they're losing all of their clients. So what they need to do, what they did was that they introduced what you call the Maybach. That was more expensive than all of their cars. And they were able to keep a percentage of the people who were actually going to other companies like Rolls-Royce, just because they added something that was a more premium offer. And so when you're trying to scale, always think of what can I add more to my business that will make my clients feel like this is something premium. The moment you do that,
So wait,
changes the marketing.
does scaling means more money or more clients?
Scaling, for me, scaling is making the business grow beyond you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
So just creating something that doesn't depend on you to survive. For me, that's what scaling means. So making the business grow beyond you to grow on itself. So maybe like winning, like how you would win a child, winning your business, which is essentially your baby, off you. That's what I think scaling is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what scaling is.
Yes.
More clients brings you more money.
Yes, of
and
course,
It allows when you get more money, it allows you to actually build the systems of skill.
Yes.
Most people don't have the systems of skill. There are there are two systems when you're trying to scale a business. They're either delegation systems or automation systems. So it's actually you are building probably some chatbots or AI workflow or some AI agents or something, or you're trying to hire or create a delegation system whereby you don't need to be present, you don't need to be in your business every day.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, I want to just say something. You were like, more clients mean more money. Not in my experience. Because a lot of people are not pricing right. We always think pricing, like low pricing brings in clients. But clients don't buy based on price. They buy based on value. So a lot of people are selling, but they're not making money. They are posting thousands of bags of deliveries going out, but their business is struggling. They are not making money because their pricing is way off. The people are really putting, even as little as 20 CDs.
Okay, is it because business owners don't know how to price? How do we price?
I think we are afraid. What's the common pattern I have seen in my coaching experiences? People are afraid. They are afraid that once they increase their prices, they are going to lose customers. But you're not having enough customers anyway. You might as well just price right and then use the margins you are making, use the margins you are making, leverage on those margins to attract the kind of customers that you want.
Okay, what is price right?
Okay.
I'm just starting out in
Yes.
business.
Yeah.
How do I do it?
Okay. So I know a lot of the time when we are starting businesses, we would just look at what other people are pricing and then make us lesser than theirs. But then that doesn't always work. First of all, you need to understand your business model. Who is your target audience? If you don't understand that, you're never going to get your pricing right because you can't have middle to low income earners as your target market and then your pricing is all the way up. And then when I say target market, it means, like he said, it's a conversation. You marketing to your audience is a conversation. So when you are marketing to them and they are speaking back to you, so you realize you are marketing to middle income earners, like you are in Makola, you're trying to sell something, you are selling ringing bells, but then you are trying to price something for somebody in Chasaku, but then you are marketing it at Makola, right? So you need to understand who your target market is, first of all. And then, of course, you need to study, once you understand your target market, you need to study your competition because you want to make sure you have competitive prices. Not low prices, but competitive prices.
What's the difference?
Yes. Because people think low prices means competitive prices, but it's not. Because people, okay, let me just use my business as an example. Yes. Glam in inches. I would say at the moment, we do have high prices or like we do have premium pricing, right? And you may wonder why we do have premium prices. It's because of the value that I want to give our target clients, right? Because in Glam in Inches, we want people to feel confident and look confident when they wear your hair, right? So in their minds, this hair, because of the price point and because of how she speaks to me when she markets the hair, when I wear the hair, I have some kind of feeling. Like, I feel like, okay, I am wearing Glam in Inches. And then when we do that, we have something called the Glam card. So when you buy hair above a certain amount, you have the Glam card, which makes you feel special. It makes you feel like you are part of the community. We offer tutorials. We will send you messages. We'll call you. So in that case, we offer value. So that is competitive pricing, right? Because you're not just looking at the number, you're offering value, added value to the price. Unlike other people who may just be pricing low and then just throwing the product on the clients, come and buy, without really giving any sense of belonging, any sense of value, right? So in that case, Our prices may be higher, but they are competitive because we add a lot of value to the price. Yeah.
What method do you use
Yeah.
to price your hair products?
Okay. Yes. So this actually it's a question I get a lot, right? So I do have a system where for hair products, I have a number of vendors. So I just have an Excel sheet with the vendor cost prices. I know it sounds kind of archaic, but then the vendor cost prices, and I have an average of them, and then I use that as my cost price. And then so now you need to look at your expenses, right? So initially your cost price, your expenses, and then the profit you want to make. So some people struggle with that, the profit they want to make. So sometimes I ask them to value their time. If you were working for a company, how much would they be paying you for a month? Like, how much do you think you would deserve to be paid for a month? And then find your hourly pay. And then look at the amount of time you spend marketing or working on that business. That becomes your hourly pay, right? And that is what you want to earn, and then some. So first, you need to look at the cost price, the base cost price with shipping, packaging, and everything. And then you look at your expenses, your overhead costs, everything you spend to run the business. Trash, collection, light, water, everything you spend to run the business needs to be recorded. And then you value your time as well, and then you add some based on, after studying your competition, after looking at your business model and who you want to serve. Yes. So that's how you price in your business.
Wow.
What's your method of pricing?
Exactly this, almost the same thing.
Yeah.
But for me, what I want to do is that because business is for profit, I just want to jump that. You're not just running a business just because it's a business. Okay, you are trying to make profit, you are trying to do something. Even though you're trying to, some people also want to impact, but you still want to make profit. Otherwise, impact without profit is frustration. And so you need to, first of all, optimize your business for profit. And so for me, I always try to put 100% mark on whatever I'm trying to do. So I look at my expenses. I then look at, for me, I don't look at competitors. Why? Because I feel like they will influence my pricing, and I become like a commodity.
Right.
Yes, because when for example, if I was going to buy, for example, this marker, and this marker was 1 cedi, and somebody else then sees another marker at 80 pesos, all of a sudden, just because probably I looked at this and decided to price, this guy looked at my product and decided to price at 80 pesos, and somebody came, just buy the 80 pesos one because it's cheaper, because now it's just like a commodity. But when I don't look at anybody's thing and I price at my own price, looking at my time, what I've put into it, the efforts, everything, and I determine that, okay, this is what I want to make, then I do that. So I don't look at other people's thing, otherwise I become a commodity. I want to be premium, I want to be a person of my own, I want to optimize the business for myself, for what I'm doing. And so I want to look at my expenses. I take account of my expenses, everything that is going on, the teammates, the people who are helping us do the business, the people who are everything when it comes to the business. And so I look at that expense, I look at the profit that we want to make. So I work end from the beginning, not beginning to end. I determine, okay, let's say this month we want to make 100,000 Ghana cedis. If we want to make 100,000 Ghana cedis and we know our expenses are this, that means that we need to price this way. Otherwise, we are not going to reach this thing. And so the moment you work beginning to the end, not end to the beginning, you're going to be in trouble.
Today, there are over 50,000 young Ghanaians who have just finished their national services.
Yeah.
Majority of them are...
Actually, it's over 100,000.
Well, there you go. Majority of these people are looking for jobs.
Yeah.
But I am a big believer that even if less than a quarter of those numbers started their own businesses, they can employ half of those people in the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
What do you think the young person that has just come out of their national services, what can they do? Okay. As far as entrepreneurship and business is concerned?
Yeah. So I think they need to leverage their time. They have all the time on their hands, which is more than a lot of us. Honestly, sometimes I wish I had a lot more time. Like, I wish I had the time I had when I finished my national service. Because I know you can You can even attest to it. You are so busy now, Derek, right?
Yeah.
And you wish you had more time.
Yes.
So this is the time to understudy people. I'm very sure if you reach out to Pakwesi, like even though he may not directly respond to you, you can reach out to him, attend some of his free events, like make yourself visible to him, right? You have a number of volunteers here as well. I don't know why people don't volunteer enough for things like this. So they have time, use your time, get to know people, make yourself valuable, right? And then you get to learn soft skills. So that's if you don't want to go directly into trading and stuff. You make yourself valuable. Personal branding, start something online. People are making so much money by just sharing recipes for simple things that they eat at home, and it's doing so well. So you have time. So right now, after national service, all you have is time. So just make sure you make the most out of that time. And honestly, yeah.
Fantastic. What do you think?
So this is what I would say. If you're just coming out from national service, I think everybody, first of all, needs to determine what their goals are going to be in life. If you don't have that straight, you're going to be very confused, okay? Because there's some people who know that they want to work as an engineer. There's some people who have different goals. Most people don't have goals, and so they have little aspirations, and so they are not able to move up to that. But this is what I'll tell somebody. Number one, you need to be exposed to different things. You need to be exposed to the pros of a job and the cons of a job. You need to be able to be exposed to the pros of a business and the cons of the business. Not only that, you need to understand the different types of businesses. I think when people think about businesses, they only think about probably just a brick and mortar structure, but now it's a different world. It's a different ball game. There are different things that people can do to make money. I just literally the other time I put up a 3-hour training online for people who want to make money with affiliate marketing. It's so easy. What you need to do is that, now you look at creators, modern day creators, almost every creator has an information product, literally. Like, so, and I've sold products behind the scenes for a lot of people. And so I look at somebody, there's this Nigerian guy called Salim King, these other people. So you look at them and say, okay, now if you're a creator, most digital creators have digital products. And so digital products have no inventory. As in, you don't have to stock up anything, it's unlimited sales. And so what I need to do is that I find a way to reach out to those people, sell their products. I don't need to create a product. I don't need to spend my time, my energy. I just need to find a way to get them to make me an affiliate. I sell their products for them. So what you need to do is that you just need to learn you just need to learn marketing. And so for me, for people who are outside, I'll tell you that you need to learn marketing, learn how to use social media, learn how to be able to market, whether it's on the ground or everything. But for me, start something and get cash. That's the first thing I'll tell you. You need to get cash. Because as young people, you need to get cash. And so for me, I'll say be exposed to different type of business models. Don't just be stuck and say, since I can't start my dream business. Most people want to start off with their dream business. But first of all, you don't need to necessarily start with your dream business. You need to start with a survival business, something that will make you survive. Then you move on to your dream business. And so when a survival business is for immediate cash, your dream business is for whatever you want to do. For example, I have some businesses I'm going to start in the future. But those dream businesses, I'm going to get a lot of money from whatever I'm doing now and put into those businesses within the next 3 years. And so that's exactly what I'll tell anybody. First of all, figure out your survival business.
Fantastic. Let me stop you here for a minute. We are on a journey of changing the minds and the lives of people. So if you haven't subscribed and become part of the family, please hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification. Thank you. Now let's carry on with the conversation. At this point, we are no longer going to agree on one thing. I want to really get deep into your understanding of these questions that I'm going to ask you. And the first question I have is, starting or scaling, which one is harder?
Okay, so I would say scaling is harder. Starting, basically, you need an idea and you just need to execute. I don't really understand why people struggle to start a business. It's the easiest thing to do. Just get it started. Reach out to people, test the market, get the idea, start selling. But scaling is really hard because it's very difficult to replicate yourself. Hiring is really hard. Having people to run your business the way you do it is really hard. If you're a micromanager, I know I am, and I know you are as well, Derek. being able to take a step back from your baby and let people run it without you is really hard. Wanting to do your own thing, traveling abroad, wanting to be away from the business is really hard because people keep dragging you back. For example, last week, I have my, the one in charge of my business, she's on maternity leave.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, the second person who has to be in charge had a family crisis. So I found myself scrambling around just to get somebody to be there so that the shop can run. That is really difficult.
Okay.
Yeah, so I feel like scaling is really hard. That's what makes or breaks a business. Scaling.
Yeah, your turn.
Unfortunately, I agree, though, but this is what I'll say. Starting is also very hard as well. Most people don't think about how difficult starting is. Starting is also very hard. And so I don't want us to trivialize starting at all, because Leslie said starting is just easy, but it's not that. Because number one, there are psychological barriers. In terms of some people, it's not everybody that's wired to be an entrepreneur. Some people just want to be working, just to get paid. Because why will you take that risk and all of that sweat and all of those mental burdens of paying somebody else? That's what it means to be an entrepreneur, to be able to do that. Because sometimes there are times where I've gone in my business without paying myself. I go months sometimes without paying myself. I have to pay other people. And that's what being an entrepreneur is. But I mean, when you're starting a business, you need to, first of all, you need to evaluate yourself. Am I fit for this? Can I do this? Am I going to win at this? And I don't think starting can be easy sometimes. But the thing is that if you want to start well, because some people can start, but if you want to start well, it can be difficult sometimes. And so that's what I'll say. You need to deal with those psychological barriers and so many different things. And yeah.
Mindset or money, which one is the biggest barrier to businesses?
I'll say mindset.
Okay.
Why? Because, anybody can get money. Anybody at all can get money. But mindset is what maintains it. Mindset is what's going to get it. So people like, there's a book that I read, The Secrets of a Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. And you're speaking about how there are some billionaires who lose it. I'm sure that if you lost all your money today, you'll be able to get it back. Because it's a money mindset. You can take all of the money away from you, but the skill is still there. And so the mindset, and you see, the thing about mindset is this, is a mindset. Mindset. Set means a collection of things. I think when people think about mindset, they think about one way of thinking. It's not just one, it's a collection of different things. Because it's a set. Like when in school, we used to have this thing called a math set. A math set with the set square, the compass, and everything. So it's a different set of things. Same thing with mindset. So there are different things in our minds that contribute to our success or our failure. And so most people, they haven't dealt with all the different types of sets of minds that they've received from their father, their mother, their school teacher, who is broke. Your teacher is broke and he's teaching you something. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with school, but sometimes they teach you certain mindsets or they teach certain mentalities, because a mindset is basically a set of mentalities. They teach you a particular mentality that can contribute to the reason why you are where you are right now. And so mindset is hard because you need to unwind all of those things. You need to find a way to unscrew all of those things before you can succeed. And once you have that, even if you lose your money, you're going to get it back. If you are back to rock bottom, you're going to get it back. And so mindset has always been important. Mindset precedes money.
So this is contradictory, seeing as earlier I said you can start a business without money. I mean, earlier, that's what I said. But as somebody who runs a retail shop or a retail business, money has been one of my biggest challenges in business, because you have the ideas, you have the mindset ready, but you don't have the money to execute. That is really painful as a business owner. So I found money to be a huge stumbling block in my business growth. Yes, even though mindset is important, because the mindset of money is also important. Understanding money, understanding how to utilize money when you have it. Because there are some people who can have $1 million now and nothing changes in their lives because they don't know how to use that $1 million, right? But there's some of us, if we get that $1 million, we will make it work. But yes, so I would say money has been one of the biggest challenges for me in business. Yeah.
So,
Yep. Go on.
so the thing about mindset is that, for example, if I put a random person in charge of a real estate business and I put maybe Kennedy in Japan, no money, but like he has all his experience, he's going to win. And it's not because he's probably richer or it's just because he has built a different type of mentality. And so you need, first of all, in order to be a millionaire, you need to have a millionaire's mindset. If you want to be a billionaire, you have to have a billionaire's mindset. And so what you need to do is that you need to, first of all, attack the mindset before, because money is a result. I don't think people understand, but money is a result of something. So money is the outcome. Money is not the cause. It's an effect, not the cause. And so the cause of everything it begins with a mindset. Mindset is not the only thing, but mindset is always going to precede the effect. So since mindset is the cause and money is the outcome, the word cause, or the law of cause and effect, that's what we have. So cause comes from the Latin word known as causa. Causa means a reason. Effect, it comes from the Latin word known as effectus. That means an outcome. So when you're talking about a reason, I'm saying money. So I'm basically saying that a cause is a reason. So mindset is the reason for the outcome, which is money. And so the moment your mindset is wrong, so most people get into many businesses and they fail, and they're wondering, why am I failing? Because it's not just about the money. You could have 500,000 CDs and lose it all one day, and you're done. But once you have the mindset of multiplying and maintaining, everything changes.
Fantastic. So now, the next point I have is one size fits all or a custom approach in business. Which one do you think is better when people are starting out?
For me, I'm saying a custom approach. Why? Because when you're starting a business, most people are just thinking of everybody all at once. But I believe that you need to start with somebody that you are dealing with. So if you're running a hair business, you're thinking about maybe a modern young lady who wants the hair, or you want something like that. And so for me, I believe that you need to have a custom approach, working with a streamlined group of people, somebody in who you're trying to really work with, as in tailoring your product for a particular group of people. I feel that's how you need to start.
No, but I don't agree with that, because I believe that the model of starting a business is clear. You have the idea, you execute. You test the idea. So you have the idea, you test the idea, you launch the idea, and then you execute. So you execute on a small scale, and then it goes to a larger scale. So the model of business is simple. So once you understand that, in every niche you find yourself, it's a one size fits all. You can do this, you can replicate this system over and over and over to start multiple businesses, and it's going to work.
I don't quite agree with that. And my entire thing is based on this. Okay. A custom approach is how anything in this world has ever grown. Nothing ever starts big. You can't just be working with a one size fits all, just covering everybody into your entire business. The reason I'm saying this is this. In the Bible, let's say because I'm Christian. Okay? When God wanted Christianity to be able to be a widespread religion, because in Mark 16 it says go into the world and preach the gospel. So that means you're supposed to go to everybody inside the world and go and preach the gospel.
Yep.
But before that happened, God was only working with the Israelites. He was only working with the Jews. So it was a custom approach before he moved to the one size fits all, because he was not working with a group of people called the Gentiles. Instead of working with a group of people called the Jews and the Israelites, he built a tradition with them. He built a custom approach with them. It was like a custom thing. Some of the things in the Bible are just only for the Israelites. And later,
but wait, don't you agree that with your experience or your expertise? Because I have expertise in the hair business. Okay. But trust me, I can give solid advice to anybody in any industry at all, based on the experience that I have running a hair business, right? So even though you need to niche down, you need to have a laser focus on your customer, but in scaling or in launching or in starting the business, you can't change the model. You need to start in a particular way. There are certain principles that you can't change. Certain principles of, your customer being the focus, defining your unique selling proposition, pricing right. There are certain things you can't take away from any business model at all. Yes.
Do you think, if I don't stop you here, I think there's going to be blow. Do you think that entrepreneurship is for everyone?
I believe that everybody should have an interest in entrepreneurship. You don't need to be the one selling or running the business, but you should have an interest in entrepreneurship. 9 to 5 is amazing. Sometimes I'm even jealous of the people who have climbed up the corporate ladder. I'm jealous of the resources they have. They get to meet so many amazing people at work just by going to work. They have so many benefits. But after the 9 to 5, after 60 years, what next? What happens to your life? 60 years is young. What do you do next? If you don't have an interest in entrepreneurship or in maybe having a widened portfolio and a widened investment portfolio, after 60, basically your life is over because you now have to live and rely on your pension, which we all know is not very reliable. So I think entrepreneurship may not be you essentially marketing your business and running your business, but you should have an interest in it. You can partner with people, you can invest in things, but you should definitely have an interest because whatever business you are working for, it's also a business. If they hadn't set it up, how would you be able to earn from it? Yes, so I think...
But is it for everyone? Yes or no?
Well, so I think everybody should have an interest in entrepreneurship.
So it's for everybody?
Yes, I think everyone should have an interest in entrepreneurship.
At all. I don't think everybody is wired to be an entrepreneur. I don't think everybody can be an entrepreneur.
Maybe you are looking at it as a founder or a CEO. Not everybody is wired to be a CEO or a founder. But entrepreneurship is basically making your money work for you, right? In putting your money somewhere and making it work for you, right? Starting something that works for you. So I believe that everybody should have an interest in making their money work for them.
So you think everybody can run a business?
Everybody can learn how to run a business.
I don't think everybody can run a business.
Okay, make your point.
I don't think everybody can run a business. How many people... That's why they said entrepreneurship is not for the weak. Not everybody has the mental fortitude to be an entrepreneur at every point in time. Because now, even I didn't want to be an entrepreneur.
Why did you become it then?
Because this is a story that I don't really share, but my parents are both entrepreneurs. I've seen us go through struggles just because they decided not to work for somebody else. So when I was little, I used to tell myself that all these people just go and work for somebody. When I was growing up, I was resenting entrepreneurs. I was resenting running your own business. Why? Because I just felt as though, like everybody else, all my friends, their parents are working. Why don't you just go work and just do something like that? And so for me, I really felt as though, no, entrepreneurship should not be for everybody. I didn't want to be an entrepreneur. Just that life so happened that I ended up being one. And just because of a few survival things. And I feel it's like, because I also kind of helped my mom do a few things, I feel like I already had the entrepreneurship thing inbuilt inside of me. But it's not for everybody, because there are times whereby when you have to pay people and your business is bankrupt. I mean, you look at some of the banks that they wiped off in 2017. Look at what are some of the founders up to now. Like some of them are miserable. Some of them are in jail. It can happen to anybody.
So
okay?
If you don't think entrepreneurship is for everyone,
yes.
So you think that somebody should...
If entrepreneurship was for everyone, who will be working for whom?
Yes, sure. You think everybody, or those who entrepreneurship is not for, should stick with their 9 to 5.
Perfectly.
But then I also believe that you can't become rich with one source of income. I strongly believe that. One source of income is not enough to make you a rich man. It's simple. You have to cast a fishing net, not a hook and line. So for somebody who wants to be wealthy, maybe I know people have been wealthy from their 9 to 5s, but somebody who is not as fortunate as the CEO of, because I know that some of the CEOs have been really, Tim Cooks, yes, but some of us who are not as fortunate as them, how do they widen their investment portfolio?
So you become an investor, not a business owner.
Yes, but I do believe...
Because being a business owner, you are taking almost all of the risk, quite literally. And you are looking out for other people other than yourself. You are sharing the responsibility. It's like, I mean, when people are even parenting like children, just imagine that responsibility. That's what it means to be a business owner. At the same time, it's like you have your children that you are being responsible over. Then you have your teammates, your employees. It's like, what is all this?
Motivation or discipline?
None of them.
Okay, talk to me.
Motivation is short term. Discipline is also a result of purpose. Because if discipline is like, oh, I have to do it regardless of how I feel, but that's not everything. For example, if I want to wake up at 4 a.m. every time, if I know why I want to wake up at 4 a.m., that is purpose, I'm going to wake up at 4 a.m. So motivation, discipline, I don't agree with any of them. I agree with having purpose. The why, knowing the why. Because once you know your why, the how becomes easy.
I think this works for a certain type of mindset, right? Or maybe, okay, let me just use myself as an example. I think I'm on the spectrum of the ADHD spectrum.
All of us are.
Yes. So I know my purpose. I know what I want from life. But sometimes I struggle to wake up early. I struggle to go to the gym. I know how I want my body to look like, but I struggle to wake up and go to the gym. I wake up and I know I want to do it, but so to me, I think discipline is very important. Discipline is, you can't take discipline out of the equation if you want to be a successful entrepreneur. Because I have coached people, I've coached different types of people. We come, the two of them are at the same level, because I have a group coaching every Sunday. We meet, the two of them are at the same level. In 4 weeks, I can see the difference between this person and the other person. Even though this person may feel like their purpose is to be this kind of entrepreneur or to be this successful, right? The discipline that one has will always triumph another person who has purpose without discipline.
Well, I think we have to describe what purpose is. Purpose is not the what, purpose is the why. For example, if you know that you want to be a millionaire, that is the what. Like, I know that I want to be a millionaire, but why do I want to be a millionaire?
I feel like I need to chip in here.
Yeah.
Otherwise, again, there will be loss. For me, I have a formula.
Okay.
In achieving every goal. And motivation is number one. Motivation is your why. For me, that's your why. Why you want to set yourself on a certain course. Then you move to the last end, which I speak about obsession. So for me, obsession is more important than discipline and motivation. But motivation is very needed because it's your why. Now you're saying purpose is your why, which essentially is the same thing. It's different schools of thought, right?
Yeah.
Purpose always creates profit.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. But again, my model is motivation first. You need to find out why. Because if you can't find that motivation and the reason why you want to do this, then you can't build value.
Isn't motivation more or less how you feel about something?
It depends on how you look at it.
Yeah.
It depends on the scale where you are. Right. So it's if you look at it as feeling, then we're going into emotions.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Isn't it?
If that's a discussion, fine.
Right.
Yeah.
Then we're going into emotion.
Yeah.
But this has been amazing.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
What's the best advice you've ever received?
Wow. The best advice I have ever received is to not think too much about things before I do them. Is to execute quickly. Sometimes we waste too much time in research mode. We think research is getting things done, but it's just we are just coasting. We are just over there just coasting. So getting things done and learning by doing, learning from your mistakes. I think that's the best advice I've ever had.
I call it motion. A lot of people are in motion.
Yes.
They never actually get anything.
Yeah.
What's the best advice you've ever received?
The best advice I've ever received, a couple of years ago, I used to be the president of the Central University Business School Association, which is the largest private tertiary business school in Ghana. And one time I was with the dean, and I was confused about life. Like, oh my God, I'm about to finish school, and I'm so confused. And she told me this statement. She said, "Never leave anything to chance. Always pray about things." And so that has been my life. I never leave anything to chance. I always pray about things. And so whether I feel as though it's bigger than me, smaller than me, I pray about things. And that for me has been the best advice. Because at the time, I didn't think that my career or my business was something I needed to pray about. I mean, it's just like things that you learn in school from life. But for me, when she told me that, that's when I really decided to factor my career and my business in the hands of God. So that's, for me, that's the best advice I've gotten. Yeah.
that buttresses my value on I don't believe in luck and chance, but we can crack that later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neither do I.
Those two things, I'm not a believer of it. Just gotta work and pray for what you want. Work, pray. Recommend a book for us.
Okay. I can recommend a lot of books.
Yeah.
One. Just one.
Yes.
How about 3?
Go for
For a
it.
businessman, I negotiate. Go on. So, if you're a young person, please read this book, Cash Flow Quadrants by Robert T. Kiyosaki. If you read that book, you know what you want to do with your life, whether you want to be an entrepreneur, business owner, employee, or investor, any of them. So you need to figure out that, the cash flow quadrant. Number 2 book that I'll say everybody should read is that you need to read this book called The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth by John C. Maxwell. That book will literally teach you how to expand your capacity for you to be able to reach the heights that you want to reach. And number 3, I'm going to say this. This is our secrets book, but Expert Secrets. In this modern day, you need to read that book.
I like how you said our secret.
Yeah.
That's our secret.
That's our secret book.
Yeah.
Okay. So I also follow his lead and suggest 3 books. So the first book is Mindset by Carol Dweck. So it talks about the fixed mindset versus the growth mindset in every aspect of life, in learning, as a student, as an entrepreneur, as a sports person. So it affects every aspect of your life. Second book, I just finished reading it. It was amazing. Shoe Dog by Phil Knight. That book spoke to me, honestly. It takes you into the mind of every stage of the entrepreneur.
Big book, so get ready. It's a big book.
Yeah. I think I'm even going to read it again because that book spoke to me. It takes you into the mind of Phil Knight, and it's amazing. And finally, Sell Like Crazy. Yeah. I couldn't finish that book because every few pages I had to stop and go and execute. There was so much in that book. There was so much. So every 5 pages, I stop and then I go back to the drawing board. So that's why I couldn't finish the book. But that book is loaded. Sabri Subi. Yes.
Blessing, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You've definitely been a blessing to my audience. And thank you for taking the time out to sit here with me, Warren Derek, to have a conversation. And Pakusi, thank you so much. You've been a blessing. I admire what you do. And I think you're going to go places. They call you the Gen Z speaker.
Greatest Gen Z speaker.
You're doing amazing. Thank you so much. And to my viewers and to my listeners, it's been an awesome journey with you guys. And if you made it to the end, if you're still here at this moment, leave that comment in wherever it is that you're listening. Whether it's YouTube or it's Apple, Spotify, leave a comment and let me know that you're one of our champions who made it to the end. It's been with me, Derek Abaite, the only podcast in Ghana that talks about information on how your life can change. Your Unconnected Minds. Thank you so much. I'm out.